Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're reading a story about a woman whose husband cheated on her for almost the entirety of their 4-year marriage, and she's only just now finding out. Let's make a start. So, 2 weeks ago, I found out I got chlamydia, and I knew he gave it to me considering I've only ever been with him sexually. He denied cheating, but also denied it when I found websites and texts on his phone. He tried to tell me he was hacked, even though he had his pictures being sent to girls, escorts, real girls, you name it. He really thought I was an idiot to think that I'm going to believe that he got hacked. So when I told him I would always have doubt, he confessed that he's been watching porn our whole marriage, and in the last year he has had sex 10 times with other women. Wow, man's keeping count. The first time he banged another chick was 2 weeks after I had his baby. So big cut to my self-esteem. Yeah, 100%. He sounds like a piece of shit. I was also struggling really bad with postpartum depression, and instead of trying to help me, he was banging some random chick. He claims this was all sexual, with no emotions attached. The first 4 times was the same chick apparently, and he just went with her multiple times because she was the only available one. He ended up booking 2 trips to Mexico, a month apart, and banged 3 prostitutes each time. He's obviously some kind of sexual/porn addict, but I'm sick of people acting like it's because of the addiction and that he didn't have a choice, when he still ultimately made the choice to break our marriage vows 10 times. Each time he went and stayed with these women, he lied and told me he was going on a work trip. He says that he loves me more than anything and that sex was always amazing with me, and I'm so much better looking than them. He says it was the addiction and it just made it impossible for me to satisfy the fix. I'm not sure if I want to stay with him or not still. We have 2 kids, so it makes it complicated. We're going through counseling, and he's convinced he will change, but I can't be sure he will. I'm also not sure that even if he changes, it will ever not be painful for me to stay with the man who hurt me so much. I'm only 24. I feel like I wasted the best years of my life with him. To anyone who has tried to make it work after infidelity, do they actually change? And do you ever feel completely healed and that you can trust them? That's tricky, OP. I think if he did it once and then came clean and realized his mistake and, like completely came to you and confessed and said, like, it would will never happen again. I'm really, really sorry. I want to make this work. I love you, whatever. Right. Then you could justify or rationalize how, like, he's fucked up, but he wants to stay and he's learned his lesson. But I think it goes a bit beyond that. And you've done it 10 times. I mean, 2 would be a hard no. Do it once, fine. You can. It's a mistake. Don't do it again. Forgive, but don't forget. A second time, no, you're done. You've done it once. You've got a bug for it. You're clearly going back. Likely, if they say 2, they're probably actually rounding it down. 10 is, yeah. I but it's difficult because you've got 2 kids. But the fact that he's banging someone a week or 2 weeks, was it, after you've just given birth to his kid, it says a lot about the type of guy he is. Sounds like a piece of shit, no offense to you. Someone's left a comment saying, "Your best years are far from over. Your trust has been violated on a very real and deep level. Things won't be the same because they can't be. This wasn't just a one-time thing. He went to Mexico to have sex with prostitutes. That is a whole different level of messed up, and you need to get away from this insanity before it really does swallow your best years. Do you really want to chase this guy around who's been constantly having sex with hookers? Love yourself and take care of yourself. Don't fall for this bullshit. I can feel the manipulation with what he's telling you, and it makes my skin crawl." I think I completely agree with that. Someone else has left a comment saying, "The sex addiction excuse is bullshit. You know it, and he knows it. Your husband is disgusting and repulsive. It's bad enough he's sleeping with prostitutes, but he can't even keep himself clean. I don't know how you can even be around him without wanting to throw up. Don't delude yourself into believing a man who can't control himself enough to avoid chlamydia is capable of changing into a decent and faithful husband. It's not gonna happen. Start planning a future without him. You are more than capable of living without him." Someone else has left a comment saying, "He's a serial cheater. Don't waste your life on this guy. He will get better at hiding it. If you hadn't gotten that disease, you wouldn't have ever known. This guy is not going to stop because he's a piece of shit and doesn't respect you. Don't waste your life playing Bond with him. You deserve so much better." think I would have to agree with this. Someone else left a comment saying, he could have passed something way worse to you than chlamydia. This is dangerous to your health and the health of your child. He still has this addiction and will continue to sleep with other women. You also have to keep in mind that people with addictions can always relapse in the future. That is definitely true. I think the addiction thing is more of an excuse, though. It's trying to justify why it's not his fault that he cheated on you and broke your vows. Someone else left a comment saying, being 24 quickly turned into being 30, and him still doing that same shit to me. The years keep rolling by. Don't waste your life with this sorry guy. OP replied to this saying, was he really sorry about what he did and thought it was going to change, or did he not take accountability? The commenter replied saying, he did, and he went to counseling, but serious work needs to be done. He has to fix why, and he has to want to change himself. Don't forget, cheaters are always liars. They will say whatever they need to. I think that's a really, really good message here. I think that's a really good message about the fact that, obviously, he's gone behind your back, he's broken your trust, and hidden it. Even if he's not lied to your face, he's lying by omission. And there will be some kind of interesting mental gymnastics that he's used to get there. Basically, it means he's prone to doing it. And he's likely, if he meets someone who is, tickles his fancy, he'll likely come up with a similar train of mental gymnastics to justify each step at the time, and then carry on hiding it. Tricky situation. Someone else left a comment saying, please don't go back. If you do, he will only ever see you as even more weak. I would call his parents if you still get along and tell them you're getting a divorce and all of the things he has done, including the STD. Same for your parents and joint friends. Go see a lawyer and do everything he tells you. He didn't just cheat, he did it with no condom, saying my life isn't worth anything, and either is hers. He could have had HIV. This is not salvageable. I know you're hurt and scared. Again, don't try. He won't change, and he knows you will not leave because you're scared. Get to a lawyer and start the divorce. You would agree with this. Someone else left a comment saying, he's a serial cheater. They do not stop cheating. Porn addiction is an excuse for looking at porn, not for flying to Mexico to bang hookers. Heck, porn addiction is a poor excuse for porn. The rest of his excuses are just meaningless bullshit he's pumping out. Serial cheaters do not change, nor do they stop cheating. They are broken inside. This doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad people, just that they are bad partners, although many of them are bad people. He says he has a problem. Great, whatever. It's not your problem he can't stop fucking around on you. Wish him luck with his affliction and get a good lawyer. At this point, you can't believe anything he says, and you need to protect yourself and the children. That's where your focus should be. You are 24. You didn't waste the best years of your life. The best years of your life are the years you enjoy your life at any age, and you've got a ton left to live. You can't live in the past, but you can make a better future for yourself, and that's all that matters right now. Think of yourself and your own happiness, and make your decisions based on that. He isn't going to change or grow or become a different person. He is who he is, but you can learn and grow as a person, and your best years are out there waiting for you. Someone else left a comment saying, oh my god, I'm so sorry. You've got 2 young kids, and you are so young yourself. The type of person he is will require the deepest healing in order to truly change, and I can guarantee he won't have any incentive to do it while you are still allowing him access to you and the kids. Ultimately, he's abusive emotionally. He violated your sex agreements, safety, and trust. Although it'll be hard to heal from this for you, it will be an incredible journey. My best advice is to arm yourself with your family and friends and tell everyone, including his family. Nobody will side with him, and he'll be forced to face consequences, 100%. I recently left my child's father, who had sex with a prostitute behind my back. He said it was just once, but it never is. And his issues are so incredibly deep, I doubt he ever changes. Ask yourself, what if his behaviors escalate and assaults someone, or worse, accidentally sleeps with an underage person who has been trafficked? Is he older than you? How old are you when you met him? Does he like them younger? Run. Weird twist at the end there, but fair questions to ask. Him flying to a different country might be to get around some laws in your local. I think the I agree with the general advice though. Find yourself a lawyer, arm yourself, and probably, I would say, get a divorce. There's a certain point where the guilt stops happening. And I think he's well past that. I think it's the third or fourth time you commit an offense like that with no consequences. Your guilt just kind of stops as much. Maybe he likes the guilt. Regardless, leave. So, tricky situation. What do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. Right, so we'll have to leave that there for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.